Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. In today's video we are taking a closer look at one of the most important defense and geopolitical developments in the Asia-Pacific region, the reopening of the former U.S. Naval Base at Subic Bay in Zambales, Philippines. This story is more than just about a military base coming back to life. It is about history, strategy, modernization, and the future of regional security in a part of the world that is shaping global events. So stay tuned until the end as we dive deep into the past, present, and future of Subic Naval Base and what it means for the Philippines, for its people, and for its allies. Subic Bay is a name that resonates with history. For most of the 20th century, this natural deep water harbor was home to one of the largest U.S. military installations outside the continental United States. For the U.S. Navy, Subic was not just a port, it was a lifeline in the Pacific. During the Cold War it served as a strategic hub, during the Vietnam War it became an indispensable logistics center, and throughout decades of global conflict it was the site where warships were repaired, resupplied, and prepared for missions that spanned the globe. At its peak, the base supported tens of thousands of service members and civilian workers, creating an entire community built around military power. But history changed in 1992. Following the end of the Cold War, a devastating volcanic eruption at Mount Pinatubo, and political decisions in Manila, U.S. forces withdrew and the gates of Subic Naval Base closed. For the Philippines, it was both an end and a beginning. On one hand, it marked the reassertion of sovereignty, showing the world that the Philippines could stand without a permanent foreign military base. On the other hand, it left behind vast infrastructure that needed to be repurposed. For decades, Subic Bay transformed into a freeport zone, a commercial hub, and a reminder of the era when American warships dominated its waters. Now, almost 3 decades later, Subic Naval Base is once again preparing to welcome military activity. But this time it is different. The base is not being reopened as a U.S. facility, but as a Philippine one, under the exclusive control of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The reopening is part of a wider national modernization program designed to accelerate the development of defense infrastructure, improve maritime security, and strengthen the ability of the Philippine military to respond to new and emerging threats. The timing is no coincidence. The Indo-Pacific is becoming one of the most contested regions in the world, and the Philippines sits right in the middle of it. The South China Sea has become a flashpoint for geopolitical rivalry, with overlapping territorial claims, competing naval patrols, and constant friction over fishing grounds and trade routes. For the Philippines, securing its waters is not just about national pride, it is about survival, economic stability, and sovereignty. Reopening Subic Naval Base means the Navy will once again have a modern, strategic hub from which to operate. Warships can dock, supplies can be stored, and maintenance can be carried out without the limitations that smaller ports impose. The base's location is critical, sitting near vital sea lanes that connect global trade routes and overlooking the contested areas of the South China Sea. The Philippine government has announced several key upgrades that will come with this reopening. Old U.S. naval facilities, from massive docks to storage areas and operational buildings, are being refurbished and modernized. A significant section is being converted into a large storage complex, supplied with the help of the United States, where the Philippine military will stockpile vital equipment and materials. This will give the armed forces of the Philippines better readiness and resilience in case of emergencies. The Navy plans to increase its presence at the base with more patrol vessels and possibly larger warships, giving the country a stronger maritime footprint than ever before. For the Philippines, this move carries multiple layers of significance. Militarily, it represents a huge leap forward in modernization. For years, the AFP has been criticized for outdated equipment and underfunded facilities. Now, with Subic as a focal point, the modernization effort gains credibility. Regionally, it sends a message that the Philippines is serious about defending its maritime territories and standing up to challenges in disputed waters. Economically, the revitalization of the base is expected to inject new life into the local community of Zambales. Jobs will be created, local businesses will benefit from increased activity, and investments may flow into the surrounding provinces. Diplomatically, while the base is under Philippine control, it reflects continued cooperation with the United States, a longtime ally, and strengthens the broader network of partnerships that the Philippines maintains in the region. The history of Subic Bay makes this moment even more symbolic. For decades, it was a symbol of American presence in Asia, sometimes seen as a point of dependency and sometimes as a shield of protection. When it closed in 1992, it was a turning point in Philippine sovereignty. Now, its reopening under Philippine command shows how far the country has come in balancing independence with international cooperation. It is not about returning to the past but about using the legacy of the past to build a stronger future. Looking ahead, the reopening of Subic Bay is expected to accelerate other parts of the Philippine military modernization program. This includes the procurement of new naval vessels, modern aircraft, and advanced defense systems. Training will be enhanced, often with the help of international partners. Other strategic bases across the country may be expanded and upgraded. Investments in technology such as maritime domain awareness, radar systems, and surveillance drones are also expected to grow. All of this ties into a larger vision of making the armed forces of the Philippines more capable, more flexible, and more prepared for the uncertain security environment of the 21st century. What makes this development even more interesting is its timing within the broader Indo-Pacific context. The region is experiencing shifts in power dynamics, with major countries increasing their military activities. For a nation like the Philippines, which lies at the heart of crucial maritime routes, having a strong base like Subic is not optional, it is essential. It gives the country not only physical capacity but also symbolic weight, showing allies and rivals alike that the Philippines intends to take control of its destiny. For the people of Zambales, this story is also personal. Many families in the region have long histories connected to the naval base. Some worked there during the American era, others benefited from the Freeport economy after the base closed. Now, another chapter begins, one that combines national defense with local growth. The reopening of the base could provide steady employment, attract new businesses, and bring infrastructure improvements to the community. In this way, Subic Bay is more than just a military story. It is also a story of people, economy, and progress. As we look at the bigger picture, it becomes clear that the reopening of Subic Naval Base is not just about ships and docks. It is about strategy, identity, and the future role of the Philippines in a rapidly changing world. It is about a nation embracing its history, recognizing its challenges, and preparing for the opportunities ahead. The world will be watching how the Philippines uses this renewed asset. Allies will hope it strengthens cooperation, while rivals will be paying close attention to how operations from Subic influence the regional balance. In the end, Subic Bay is once again becoming a symbol. Not this time of American power projection, but of Philippine determination. It tells the story of a country that once hosted the mightiest navy in the world, then walked away to chart its own path, and is now returning to those same docks with a stronger sense of ownership and purpose. It is a reminder that history does not end with closure, sometimes it comes full circle with renewal. So, what happens next? Expect to see more Philippine naval vessels at Subic, more training exercises, more joint operations with allies, and more investment in defense technology. Expect also to see the community of Zambales adapt once again, as it has so many times before, to a new role at the crossroads of history and strategy. For the Philippines, the reopening of Subic Bay is not just a policy decision. It is a statement to its people and to the world that it intends to be prepared, resilient, and proactive in shaping its own security future. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the reopening of Subic Naval Base and its significance for the Philippines and the wider Indo-Pacific, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates. We will continue to bring you in-depth analyses, exclusive reports, and the stories that matter most in the world of defense, security, and geopolitics. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged.